Hello and welcome back to my channel. Here we talk about all things crochet hair and most recently press-on nails. I absolutely love both of them, and if it's something that you like too, hit that like button, subscribe to the channel, and hang out for the fun. Alright, so today we will be talking about this Freetress Fluffy Wand Curl, and honestly this is a throwback video. I tried this hair a couple of, I don't even know, quite a long time ago. It actually is the thumbnail for my YouTube channel here on Gabrielle's Hair, and it was the first time that I tried color, and I found out very quickly that crochet hair in color kind of, at least in my experience, I don't want to give too much of it away, but in my experience led to a little bit more tangling, and I got a little bit of this bird hive effect. Yeah, we'll talk about how I fixed that, but all in all, I love this hair, and I wouldn't be bringing it to you, even though it's a throwback, if it wasn't an awesome experience. So let's get started. Okay guys, so now that you saw the breakdown, let's talk about the install process. For the install for this hair, as I mentioned, and I'll insert some video clips as well, I separated the hair once and I put it on my braiding rack and had all of the hair prepped. So I like to prep all of the hair prior to installing it. For me, and I don't know, it's just how I am, it just makes the install process so much easier. I mean, I can just grab the hair and go. I'm not constantly splitting the hair, and this was a tough hair to split. Let me go into this pack that I have open. Is it really open? This pack is not open. Give me 1 minute. Okay, so I'm back, and here is one root, as they call it, or one strand of hair. Now, one thing you notice, like this part is like the fluffy wand curl, but at the bottom of the hair, I guess they were trying to give it a more natural look, right? Because if this hair is actually growing from your head, it wouldn't just be equidistant all the way down to the root, because the root is, well, I said the root. The ends of our hair is the oldest part of our hair, and it's typically a little thinner than the root of our hair in the beginning. And so I think they were just trying to mirror that a little bit thicker towards the top and a little thinner at the bottom. But in doing that, it creates like a challenge in pulling this hair apart and a really bad frizz at the end of the hair. It's almost like that frizz that you get when you need to cut your ends, and every style that you do, your ends are sort of getting in the way and, you know, impairing and impeding what you're trying to do. And so I don't like that, actually. So I try to pull apart that ends before detangling. I mean, not before detangling, but before pulling this hair apart. And I also do the hair like this to put some air through it. Instead of me trying to put my fingers through it, I'll go like this just to see where it will naturally split first, and it helps to reduce some frizz. And then I'll try to find its natural spot. But even there, you can kind of see, like right in between there, this hair is frizzy. So that's one of my concerns with that, and it really does not separate that easily. So I'm finding the center of the hair, and you have to go quick and pull it apart. And as soon as you do that, like, that's kind of fluffy. Let's find something white so that I can hold behind so you can see it a little bit better. Let's just use this. So you see, yeah, now you can really see all of that frizz. So when I saw that, I was like, I split the hair apart. Am I really gonna install something that's that frizzy into my hair and have to constantly contend with frizz? So I twirled the sides, cut the frizz out, twirled the parts together to sort of clump the hair together. I did not use any product. I literally just kind of trailed it to reform the curls and cut the frizz out, and then I put it on my braiding rack. So this install, because the hair separated, creating frizz and separation, even when you do it quick, it took the preparation for it. So if you have a braiding rack, I'll leave the link below. Make sure, I would suggest, let me say that I prep all of the hair first, because it's not like an easy separation. It's gonna take maybe snipping a few of the frizz balls and re-twirling the hair to just re-clump them together so that the curls are a lot neater in your hair. If you try to do all of that inside the hair, let me show you again how frizzy it is, you will be frustrated, right? Because there is no amount of mousse that is going to reclump all of that just by you simply putting globs of mousse on the top of your hair. I also will say that I did a test of this. I did a test using mousse the night before I actually installed, because I wasn't sure if I wanted to reclump the hair using mousse or not. And the mousse sort of altered the texture of the hair in not a good way. So I nixed the mousse idea and just twirled the hair in my hand, and that was fine. In terms of the knots, and I'll insert a clip of the knots, I knotted the hair twice in the back, and then I did the invisible method up front, and I'll get a camera so that you can see the invisible knot. And then as it relates to hiding those knots, I did the flip over method. Now, a lot of people might do the tease method. I did tease some of those. I'm trying to get close so that you guys can see. I did tease some of the front to give it that natural look and to my hairline, and then the rest is simply. And so my part is here. Now what I did with my part, because I have gray hair, honestly, and I didn't want that to be able to see. So even though this is the flip over method here, I just pulled some pieces, like one side to the other. Like, that's my natural part. You would be able to kind of see it. So I think like pulling one piece from one side to the other disguises it a little bit better, and just overall makes this hair look a lot more natural. Okay, so I had to switch over to a voiceover because the footage, something was happening with the camera color and it started to change, and I know it's a tad bit older, and I started droning on about some other things. But real quick, I did want to point out that when I was installing this fluffy wand curl, at the tip, not the tip, at the root of the hair, they have like stamped in, which also made it hard for me to separate the hair. It's kind of like, I don't know if this hair is actually designed to be separated or not, because the way they constructed it is like they wrapped something around the top of the hair where one would separate it and like sealed it in. That piece is like a little bit hard piece of plastic or something. And it's not terribly hard, but it's also like, why would you do this if the hair was designed to separate? So that's probably why I ran into a lot of the separation issues that I had. But I will definitely say that all in all, nobody could tell me that this hair was not cute. This hair to me turned out so cute everywhere I went. And remember, this is my first time ever using color in a crochet hair, and actually I don't regularly dye my hair, so I felt like I just dyed my hair, I'm taking pictures, I'm looking around. I really enjoyed this hair. I finished the install kind of earlier that day, and every time I looked in the mirror, I was like, ooh, who is she? Ooh, that's cute. Ooh, I like it. So I loved this hair. And that is until 1 week later, yes, just 1 week, when I was wearing this hair, that the hair just started getting more frizzy and more frizzy and more frizzy. Hence the bird's nest reference that I made at the beginning of this video. I didn't know what was happening. I wasn't being rough on this hair. I was pineappling it, you know, just doing your typical crochet things. And this hair was just getting worse and worse and worse. 7 days later, the pictures that you are seeing right now are how my hair just looked like a complete bird's nest. So what I had to do was, even though I was kind of poking fun at the whole mousse thing in the beginning of the video, I definitely had to go through and separate this hair into kind of like medium-sized twist. and mousse it down and retwist the whole thing to be able to get some wear out of it. Otherwise, I would have had to take this hair out at 1 week. And yet again, that could have been because maybe it wasn't designed to be separated, and I did, and I also didn't put mousse on it. I don't know, but something was going on with this hair. So here's the hair after we took the twist out. I made sure that the twist dried thoroughly. So I think I let it sit in my hair for a couple of days, and then I let the hair out, untwisted the hair, and it was a million times better. Now, obviously, if you look real close, it's still kind of frizzy. It's not perfect, but it is a far cry from a bird's nest. And actually, guys, I was able to get another 4 weeks out of this hair. So at week 1, I was like, I need to take this hair out, and I ended up wearing this crochet hair for a total of 5 weeks. Right here, you'll see this is how the hair looked at 5 weeks. I did cut it up a bit and trim it to give it a little bit of a different shape, but honestly, after putting the mousse in the hair and then looking at it right after we took the mousse out, and of course looking at it 5 weeks later, putting that mousse in the hair really did help. So that's it, guys. Here it is, the Freetress Fluffy Wand Curl in the color 2 and OT 30. This is day 1, how it started off, and this is the hair 5 weeks later. As I said, even just looking at these pictures, it's reminded me how excited I was about this hair. I like this hair despite tangles and frizz. But before we get too excited about it, y'all know I have a scorecard. So if you want to see how this crochet hair stacks up against all the other crochet hairs that I've tried, then be on the lookout for my scorecard video. In that video, I discuss every detail of the hair and give it a letter grade, A, B, C, D, E, and sometimes F. And then we will be able to have a true comparison of how well this hair actually stacks up against other crochet hairs. Of course, let me know in the comments your thoughts about this Freetress Fluffy Wand Curl hair. If you would try it or if you have already tried it, please like and subscribe to my channel for more crochet hair content. Take care, guys. I'm looking for the next one. And as always, thanks for watching.